All right, so you're thinking about Toronto real estate in 2025, huh? Well, we've got a deep dive ready for you, going straight to the source, the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board.
TRRE.
Exactly.
Yep.
Their market outlook, their year in review, and all the fresh January stats. We're unpacking it all.
Yeah, and I think what's really interesting here is that TRREB is predicting kind of a more balanced market in 2025.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, so their forecast moderate price growth averaging around the rate of inflation,
Okay.
bringing that average selling price to $1,147,000.
So 2.6% increase from last year.
Basically.
Not a huge jump.
No, not exactly a skyrocket, right?
Right.
And I think that's really the key takeaway here, that this moderation is likely due to, something TRAB keeps highlighting, which is a well-supplied housing market.
Okay.
And this also kind of ties into their prediction of a significant jump in home sales.
Okay.
So they're anticipating 76,000 sales this year.
Wow.
A 12.4% increase from 2024.
So that's good news for buyers, right?
It is.
Lower borrowing costs.
Yeah.
Increased supply.
More choices.
Potentially less competition.
Precisely.
All right, so let's zoom in on the January 2025 numbers.
Okay.
3,847 homes sold through TRREB's MLS system.
Yep.
That's a 7.9% dip compared to January of last year.
Yeah.
A dip.
It does seem a bit counterintuitive at first glance, given, the positive overall outlook.
Yeah.
But I think what we need to remember is the context, right?
Okay.
New listings in January surged by a massive 48.6% year over year, reaching 12,392.
Wow.
So this influx of new listings, I think, signals a shift. With more sellers entering the market, this potentially empowers buyers with more negotiating power.
More options.
Yeah.
That's always good news.
Indeed. And while those raw sales numbers might seem down slaming, the seasonally adjusted sales actually tell a different story.
Okay.
They actually increased from December 2024, suggesting a growing pool of active buyers.
Okay, so the market's more active than it appears at first glance.
That's right.
Let's get down to the question on everyone's mind, prices. So the MLS Home Price Index Composite Benchmark, which tracks price changes over time,
Yep.
rose by a very modest 0.44% year over year in January.
Right.
The average selling price, $1,040,994.
Yeah.
That's a 1.5% group compared to January 2024.
So prices are still creeping up a bit, but, that increase combined with the jump in listings really points to a market striving for balance, I think.
Absolutely. So TREB suggests lower borrowing costs are driving this increased buyer activity. Is that ring true to you?
Well, lower rates can certainly make mortgages more accessible, right?
Yeah.
So that stimulates demand. However, TREB also points out that trade disruptions could have a counterbalancing effect.
The classic what goes up must come down.
Well, not quite, but it really does underscore the importance of considering those economic factors, right? If trade disruptions lead to wider economic uncertainty, consumer confidence could waver, which impacts buyer behavior.
Yeah, so external forces could really kind of throw a wrench in things.
Definitely.
Now, TRREB is really pushing this idea of missing middle housing.
Yeah.
What exactly do they mean by that?
So they're advocating for more townhomes, duplexes, low-rise multi-unit buildings options that kind of bridge the gap between detached homes and high-rise condos.
So diversifying housing options.
Yeah.
Why is that so crucial for Toronto?
Well, it really boils down to affordability and choice. Right?
Okay.
Detached homes are becoming increasingly unattainable for a lot of people.
Yeah.
While condos don't always suit the needs of families or those seeking, more space.
Right.
So a healthy market needs a range of options to cater to those diverse needs.
Makes sense. More choices for buyers, more balance in the market.
Exactly.
They also seem quite passionate about purpose-built rentals.
Yeah, and rightfully so. A robust rental market can act as a pressure valve, I think, for the entire housing ecosystem.
Yeah.
It offers a crucial alternative for those not ready or able to buy, potentially easing the demand on that ownership market.
So building more purpose-built rentals could help keep things more affordable even for those looking to buy.
It's all interconnected, right?
Right.
A healthy rental market can contribute to a more stable and balanced housing market overall, which benefits everybody.
Absolutely. Speaking of things being interconnected, they also brought up the potential impact of trade disruptions on the economy and, in turn, consumer confidence.
Right.
That seems like a pretty significant factor.
It is. Global events always have the potential to ripple through local markets, and real estate is no exception.
Right.
So if trade disruptions lead to economic uncertainty, buyers might hesitate,
Yeah.
putting those big purchase decisions on hold.
So those external forces could potentially cool down the market.
It's certainly a possibility. On the other hand, a strong economy and low interest rates could fuel continued buyer activity.
Sure.
So it's a delicate balance.
It sounds like they're saying there's no crystal ball.
Yeah.
But being aware of these broader economic trends can help us understand the bigger picture.
Absolutely. Real estate isn't just about bricks and mortar. It's influenced by a complex web of economic, social, and political forces.
And understanding those forces can empower both buyers and sellers to make more informed decisions.
For sure.
Speaking of which, TRREB's report dug into price trends for different housing types.
Yeah.
What did you find most noteworthy there?
It's a complex web, right? You build more homes but don't address transportation, and you exacerbate traffic congestion. You focus solely on transportation without boosting housing supply, and you risk driving up prices even further.
It's like we can't just slap a Band-Aid on it, right?
Yeah.
We need that holistic approach.
Exactly. TRA is advocating for a paradigm shift, challenging the status quo. They're essentially arguing that those high development charges, the taxes, the administrative hurdles,
Right.
they're all roadblocks on the path to a more affordable and accessible housing market.
So streamlining the approval process, incentivizing the development of, diverse, affordable options.
Yeah.
Those seem like key pieces of the puzzle.
They are, and it's not just about theoretical solutions, right? It's about understanding that real-world impact on people's lives.
Right.
If those hurdles remain, development slows down, costs rise.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it's the everyday buyer who feels the pinch.
So let's talk about the everyday buyer. What does this missing middle housing, what does that mean for them, practically speaking?
Well, imagine having more options in your price range, choices that go beyond the typical condo or the increasingly unattainable detached home.
Okay.
Picture townhomes, duplexes, low-rise multi-unit buildings, a wider variety of housing types that could better meet the needs of individuals' growing families or those simply seeking more space.
Okay, that makes sense. More diverse options means a better fit for more people.
Precisely, and a better fit often means a more balanced market with less pressure on specific housing types.
TRRB didn't just talk about the types of homes needed, they also delved into the rental market.
Right.
They seem pretty adamant about the importance of purpose-built rentals.
And rightfully so, a strong rental market can act as a pressure valve for the entire housing ecosystem.
Oh,
It offers a crucial alternative for those not ready or able to buy, potentially easing the demand on the ownership market.
so building more purpose-built rentals could help keep things more affordable, even for those looking to buy.
It's all interconnected. A healthy rental market can contribute to a more stable and balanced housing market overall, which benefits everyone.
Speaking of things being interconnected, they also brought up the potential impact of trade disruptions on the economy, and in turn, consumer confidence.
Yeah.
That seems like a pretty significant factor to consider.
It is global events always have the potential to ripple through local markets, and real estate is no exception.
Right.
So if trade disruptions lead to economic uncertainty, buyers might hesitate,
Makes
putting those big purchase decisions on hold.
so those external forces could potentially cool down the market.
It's certainly a possibility. On the other hand, a strong economy and low interest rates could fuel continued buyer activity, so it's a delicate balance.
It sounds like they're saying there's no crystal ball, but being aware of these broader economic trends can help us understand the bigger picture.
Absolutely. Real estate isn't just about bricks and mortar. It's influenced by a complex web of economic, social, and political forces.
And understanding those forces can empower both buyers and sellers to make more informed decisions.
For sure.
Speaking of which, TRREB's report dug into price trends for different housing types. What did you find most noteworthy there?
Their breakdown of price trends by housing type really paints a clear picture of the market's nuances.
And what jumped out at you?
Well, it confirms some of TRREB's predictions. As they anticipated, detached homes are still experiencing that robust price growth.
Okay.
The January numbers reveal a significant year-over-year increase in the average selling price for this category.
Not surprising given the limited supply,
Right.
enduring appeal.
Exactly. But on the flip side, we're seeing relatively flat prices in the condo market.
Interesting, considering the abundance of condos in Toronto. What do you make of that?
It suggests that the condo market might be approaching a state of equilibrium,
Okay.
where supply and demand are more evenly matched.
So buyers looking for a detached home might face stiffer competition,
Yeah.
potentially higher prices.
Especially in those sought-after neighborhoods. However, the condo market could offer more room for negotiation.
meaning buyers might snag a good deal if they're open to a condo.
Exactly. It all comes down to individual needs and priorities.
Now, before we wrap up, I wanted to circle back to TRREB's push for more purpose-built rentals.
Yeah.
Why did they see that as so crucial for housing affordability?
Well, a strong rental market can really be a game changer. It provides an alternative for those who aren't ready or able to buy, which in turn can help to kind of cool down demand in the ownership market.
But developing purpose-built rentals isn't always straightforward, is it?
It can be complex. It requires a different approach than building condos for sale, often navigating a maze of regulations and zoning bylaws.
So TRREB is calling for policymakers to prioritize this type of development, seeing it as a key solution for Toronto's housing affordability challenge.
They're advocating for a shift in focus, recognizing that a well-rounded housing market needs a healthy mix of both ownership and rental options.
So we've covered a lot of ground today,
We have.
from price trends and sales figures to the forces shaping the market and the policy changes TRA is proposing.
It's clear that all these pieces are interconnected, right? Affordability, traffic, economic factors, housing types, they all weave together to create this really complex and dynamic landscape.
And it's a landscape that's constantly evolving. So for our listeners out there, whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting to explore the real estate world,
Yeah.
the key takeaway here is to stay informed.
Absolutely. Keep learning, keep asking questions, and keep thinking critically about the trends shaping the Toronto real estate market.
Because ultimately, the more you know, the better equipped you'll be to navigate this ever-changing world.
Well said. It's been a pleasure diving into these insights with you.
Likewise, and to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the Toronto real estate market. Until next time, stay curious.